I know, Paul's got his camera out, so he's going to be snapping photos of Senator McCain here this morning as well.
Good morning. Senator John McCain is joining us. And
glad to join you all. Could I mention that Jennifer was kind enough
to... nice?
Yeah, a very patriotic present here. She's a follower of ours on Twitter.
Yes.
And how about that? Is that great for the 4th of July or what?
You're going to be spending your 4th of July
every time I come, you will give me a cake.
Of course.
Okay.
That's why
note to self. We'll take down
part
any
of the
special
deal.
requests.
Okay. Either one of you will make one for me. Great renowned cooks that you are.
Yes. He didn't demand any special requests for M&Ms being separated or anything like that.
Always a little patriotism. I'm glad to see you all.
Good to see you too. What are you going to be doing for the 4th? You're here in town.
Prescott Parade.
Yeah.
There's a great parade at Prescott, a 4th of July parade. It's one of the oldest and one of the best parades. And there's a lot of great 4th of July parades around the state, but I've been going to Prescott for a long time.
Yeah, of course. Well, we know that you were in town yesterday at Phoenix Children's Hospital talking about health care reform. Now, the Democrats have said that they are reforming their plan to be something like, what is it, $600 billion instead of $1 trillion. But you've got a problem with this, even if it's $600 billion.
They keep reforming and reforming and reforming. The fact is they haven't got a way to pay for it, and they still haven't addressed the two major issues. And one is whether you're going to have a government insurance program, which obviously adamantly opposed to, or whether employers are going to be required to provide health insurance for their employees. That is another requirement that we don't need. I was at Phoenix Children's Hospital yesterday. By the way, it's a wonderful facility. The care they give to children there is not believable. And in fact, our Jimmy and Jack both were there many years ago when they were first born. But anyway, we have the highest quality health care in America than any place in the world. I was at a place called MD Anderson in Houston day before yesterday. People from 90 countries are there because they go to America where the best quality health care is. The problem is the cost, obviously, so we got to make it affordable and available. I do not believe the government runs anything very well, much less health care in America.
Let's talk, too, about the economy. You and I were just mentioning a little bit before. We just had some new numbers come out this morning. 9.4% on the jobless rate. I mean, it's... What's happening?
And I'd remind you that the president and his budget director said unemployment would be at 8%. That's only a small difference of about 2.5 million jobs. Look, they were wrong then because so many of these projects are just pork barrel earmark projects that really don't do anything to create jobs. They just don't, and that's why we opposed it. And of course, the $780 billion debt we laid on our kids it's unconscionable. I have never been more worried about the long-term future of our economy than I am now because of the multi-trillion-dollar debts.
Yeah, it's one thing.
And I'm worried about the Diamondbacks too.
Well, we are.
No kidding. Seriously, we know you're a big fan there. Hey, Bruce emailed in, some of our viewers emailed some questions for you, and he said, Senator McCain, what are some of the defense appropriations that you have on your agenda right now, and how will those funds and defensive weapons be used?
Well, there's going to be a big fight over we need to continue, particularly when you look at North Korea, Iran, etc. We need to have a robust missile defense capability. We need this new airplane called the F-35, which we have a good chance of being stationed at Luke Air Force Base, by the way. And, of course, personnel. We have to keep giving the men and women not only the equipment they need, but also the benefits, the health care, and the housing, and all of that. I'm happy to tell you that re-enlistment and retention and recruitment in the military is an all-time high. Part of that is due to the economy, but a lot of it is due to the fact we have such wonderful people who are joining. And we have the best military I've ever seen.
Let's talk quickly, too, about our budget. That was the big news we've been covering over the last 2 weeks. I've been down. I know.
You look exhausted.
That's been a disaster.
What's the difference between Arizona and Washington? In Washington, we print our own money.
Right.
We print trillions of dollars. Unfortunately, here in Phoenix, they can't. And so they're struggling with this budget issue. I wish them well. I hope that for the sake of all of our citizens, they come together and get this thing done. But for me to parachute in where the city of deficits, out of control deficits, and tell the legislature, the governor what to do would be a little more presumptuous than I am. And I'm pretty presumptuous, as you know.
Hey, we got to ask, 2012.
Runnin hard. Don't take anything for granted. I have a couple of opponents in the primary. I've found that if you work hard and ask people for their support, then run on my record, it will be okay. But you never take anything for granted. Never take a single vote for granted, otherwise you're got a problem. And I'm glad to be with you all this morning.
It's so nice to have you here and back in town.
You.
Every time I usually see you, you and I usually talk about movies. Have you seen any good movies lately?
You
probably don't have time.
Been a little busy, eh?
I haven't. I saw in Torino recently.
Okay,
that's very good.
Clint Eastwood. I enjoyed that. Dark Knight I thought was very good. And everybody tells me I should go see this Hungover.
The Hangover.
The Hangover.
Nicole and I thought it is good. You should go see it.
I hear it's a little racy.
Yeah. It's good for a good laugh, though.
There you go.
Senator McCain, thanks so much.
Glad to see you all. Thanks.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
It's great to have you here in studio with us.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to take a quick break here and we'll be right back. Stay with us.